unions. Are you beginning to get the catch here? And when this reset takes place, the reset of the currency will be based upon the assets of the country. Let me try to explain the assets of America. America has more debt than all the rest of the world combined. Take everything in the world and combine it, and America has more debt. How much assets do we have? In light of the fact that the only thing America has is debt, and your American dollar is going to be reset down 30% of what its value is today. I did not say that they were going to go in and take 30% out of your checking account. I did not say that they're going to ask you to take 30% less tomorrow morning for what you're paying at the gas pump. They won't do it this way. They'll do it gradually over a period of time, and I'll try to explain how. American dollar will be scuttled as the reserve currency of the world. As of the date that you hear it announced that we're going to have a global currency reset, there will be never, ever again be the American dollar as the premier reserve currency of the world. It's gone as of then because they are resetting currencies with a 5% differential, so there will be no need anymore for an American reserve premier status currency. There will be a reserve currency. I do not know what it is. They have not told me. They have merely said that there's going to be one. It will not be the American dollar. And the new currency that they will use, and I do not know what it is, but whatever it is, the currency that they use, the IMF uses when they reset the currencies, it will be gold-backed. Right now, there's some things happening that I can't tell you about. There are super wealthy people in the world right now that you've never seen such wealth in all your life as what they're making out of this. They know in advance that it's happening, and they're taking advantage of it. For instance, when Cyprus went in and took the money out of the banks that the people had, they're not going to do that in America. That's not going to be the method they use here. They'll use here global currency reset. And in Cyprus, they went in, closed the banks on a certain day, and said, we'll take out X number of dollars. The super wealthy, the president of Cyprus, many people from Russia who had their money hidden in Cyprus, because Cyprus was the major money laundering country in the world for Russians. They went in days ahead of time and pulled out every penny they had because they knew it was going to happen. The same thing is happening again right now. The super wealthy of the world right now are doing everything necessary to see to it that all of their money is in the new reserve currency of the world. I can't say any more. There are certain congressmen that are becoming filthy rich over this. Some of them don't even know it. I'm not going to go any further. I can't. It's treason. I don't know any other way to put it. And whenever you see this play out, I dare to say that you will be so angry. By that time, I won't be doing any more radio shows. I can't, because I know too much. But there is going to be a global currency reset, and let me try to explain why America's currency will no longer be used as the reserve currency of the world. I'm going to give you some exact figures. I'm going to take the year 2000, and I'm going to use the year 2013, and I'm going to compare. I hope you have notes, pencils going, and if you don't, go back and re-listen to this program, and please write these things down so you'll understand it when it happens. In the year 2000, the national debt of the United States of America was $5.6 trillion. In 2013, it's 17 plus trillion, and I believe exactly what Chris said a moment ago, that the professor said it's so much bigger than this, there's no comparison, but this is what they admit to. That is a 209% increase in 13 years. In the year 2000, the federal yearly budget deficit was $236 billion. In 2013, the yearly budget deficit is $680 billion. That is up 188%. in 13 years. Does America have any assets? No, we have nothing but debt. Are you catching this? We have nothing but debt. We do not have assets. This is the reason that the World Bank, China, Japan, the Middle East, they are getting out of the dollar this week. And last week, they're getting out of trillions of American dollars. They're cashing them in right now. They're getting them out. And they're going to be floating around 3 weeks from now. And nobody wants them. You mark my words. I want to go back again. 2000, the Federal Reserve balance sheet was $700 billion. 2013, the Federal Reserve balance sheet was $4 trillion. Let me try to explain briefly the balance sheet. It's made up of money that you buy debt with. That's all it is debt. It's a balance sheet. It's nothing but debt. Mortgage debt, automobile debt, boat debt, any kind of debt there is out there. U.S. Treasury debt that the Federal Reserve has been quantitative easing 1, 2, 3 with. Money out of thin air. Let's go to another one. And you tell me whether we have any assets left in America or not that's not debt. The year 2000, gold was $280 on the average for that year. 2013, average about $1,250. That's up 28.85% in 13 years. Silver in the year 2000 was $4.95. 2013, approximately $25 for the year so far. That's 26.25%. The Dow Jones, let's compare it to gold and silver. And then you see whether you should have taken my advice back years ago when Mr. Fromm told me that their currency was gold and silver. The Dow in 2000 was 11,300 for average that year. 2013, the Dow Jones is 15,300. The Dow is only up 36% in 13 years, an average of 2.77% per year, whereby gold is up, well, you heard it a moment ago, 28.85% per year. Now, looking at those statistics, what is the value of the United States of America? We don't have any. What assets do we have? China has Caterpillar. China has Boeing. China has your clothes manufacturing and your shoes. China has nearly everything on the Walmart and Target shelf. China has everything. And not only do they have General Motors and most of the other manufacturing in America, they also have all the patents. Because the only way that they would ever allow an American company to go into China is to also give the patents and the secrets to those patents to China and whatever China businessman they were doing business with. So China today literally has all of our assets. What do we have? We have some land, sure we do, and we have some debt, and we're well blessed with that. And we have Washington, who knows how to put on a dog and pony show. And now we're coming up to the place that the whole world says, we do not want any longer your currency. We don't trust it. It's ready to fall. The Federal Reserve is having to hold it up to the tune of $85 billion every month in quantitative easing 3 and cannot taper. And we know what's going to happen because eventually all of this must come to an end. Therefore, they're not coming to buy the interest on our debt anymore. And when it's not paid, the dollar will collapse. And you've got approximately a year and a half before that dollar completely, totally collapses. In the meantime, within the next 90 days, if this Christine Lagarde and the IMF have their way, they have planned a global currency reset. And it will affect you in the following way. Please try to understand how this is coming to you. Now that the reset has taken place, and you'll hear it announced in just a matter of days, and when it takes place, everything from that point on when the dollar is reset in relation to all the other currencies, if Walmart wants to buy anything from China next month, they're going to pay approximately 30% more for it. That means you won't feel it at Walmart and Target and the hardware store and the grocery store for a month, maybe 2 months. You'll feel it at the gas pump much faster. Probably within 30 days, you're going to see gasoline go up to astronomical prices. You're going to see those products now because of the global currency reset and the fact that they've cashed in their dollars, and no longer is the dollar the reserve currency, and no longer are they showing up to buy our debt, and no longer can anybody hide this anymore. And now it's becoming apparent within 30 days, and you're wondering, how in the world am I going to be able to make my house payment? And you won't be able to. Because how can you do it when you have to pay 30% more for your hardware store and your groceries and everything that you get at the other stores? How can you possibly make the payments? Well, that's exactly what they want. The New World Order wants you to default on that because, after all, they have bought that mortgage the Federal Reserve has through quantitative easing. You know, they've bought the house mortgages. That's what they've been buying with this. So they own your house mortgage. And now when you can't make the payment, what do? That's what they want. They want to say, well, we'll be glad to let you live in the house, just pay us rent. And Federal Reserve owns it, the elite owns it, the New World Order owns it, and you can go back now and just keep on living here a long time. And you'll give in. You'll do exactly what they've said because of what they have done to you. But at that point, for all practical purposes, it's too late. Now, I'd like to point out to you how they are able to get by with this. One of the methods, and this one, okay, let me clarify this. I know we're getting out of time here, but let me clarify this if I can. About a week to a week and a half ago, I received an email from my elite friend. I had never received an email like this before. He talked about something that I had never heard talked about before. And I was dumbfounded. I was startled. And I had to do some research on my own. And I found out everything he said was true. I want to tell you how the elite have already prepared you to get ready for what they're going to do to you. And they've been preparing you for about the last 2 to 3 years, and you didn't even know it. They put it on your house. That's right. You are hearing me correctly. I'm sitting here almost startled, even as I give this. I haven't given this before. On your house, they put what is called an electric smart meter. And you didn't think a thing about it because they told you that the meter reader wouldn't have to come around anymore and read the meter on your house and that this was going to be great. Do you realize that the federal government subsidized the electric utilities of America to the tune of billions of dollars to put in all of the equipment necessary to put a smart electric meter to read your meter, your electric usage over the past 30 days. They put it on your house. They began this project about 2 to 3 years ago, and it's on almost every house in America now. And those electric meters were not put there for the purpose. You catching it? I hope. You've got to get this and research it for yourself. Those meters were not put there for the purpose of reading your electric usage. Those meters were put there for the purpose of dumbing you down. Now, bear with me, and then I'm going to tell you where to go to find it for yourself. The electric smart meter, they communicate with each other every night between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Have you had any trouble sleeping since that thing was put on your house between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning? Yes. Do you hear sounds in your ears between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning? Yes. Do you hear pulsing? Yes. Why? They talk to each other every night between 3 and 4. They also talk to the cell towers when they're not being used too much at that same time during the night. And they're using a 905 megahertz frequency. This is so important because they set this up intentionally. That 905 megahertz frequency is the exact frequency necessary to resonate within the brain cavity, and they literally, since that meter has been going on your house, have been put on your house, they have dumbed you down so much that you can't think straight, you don't reason as you used to be able to. That meter has accomplished a purpose for the New World Order and for the elite of getting you to the